Broadway TikTok, you crazy. I didn't think anybody would want to do this with me. Listen to all 670 plus Broadway musicals in a single year. It's 2 a day. I tell you guys about it. You're like, I want in. Seriously, I made a thing to join, and 257 people joined already. Overnight. We gonna have fun.
Hello, and welcome to Tina Ranks Every Broadway Musical December edition, also known as the finale of this wild journey. In case you could not tell by my light up Christmas earrings, it is Christmas Day, 2:31 a.m. and I am quarantining alone this year because I tested positive for COVID last week, and so yeah, I'm fine. I feel better. I just have like an occasional cough now, but yeah, I am alone this Christmas, so that is okay. Anyways, how are you? How are you doing? I know it's been a very long year. Wow, we have finished listening to every single Broadway musical, skipping musicals that we were not able to listen to because we don't have a recording of them. There have been 682 musicals that we've listened to this year. I don't want to think about how big of a number that is and how many hours that is too. Oh God. But for the last time, this is the spiel. The Broadway 2-Day Challenge is an internet challenge created by Stacey Muscati Moore, aka Theater Kid Audition Coach on TikTok. She wanted to listen to all the musicals in the course of a year, and people said, hey, I'll join too. And here we are. I'm gonna see if I can adjust the lighting. I don't like how bright it is. Better. Okay, yeah. As you may know, I am ranking each of these musicals on an S through F scale. S tier is moi, art, absolute perfection. A tier is really, 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 really good. B tier is not for me, but I can see why other people would like it. C tier is I liked it in the moment, but I promptly forgot about it afterwards. D tier is I didn't care to listen to it, and I was glad it was over. And F tier is no, stop, do not pass go. It is horrible, it is racist, it is somethingist, or I just couldn't finish it. And of course, there is L for Lost to Time. Sometimes there are musicals that we just don't have a recording of, whether it is legal or illegal. But since this is the final ranking that I'm going to do, we're gonna have a little tribute to all of the musicals from this past year that were lost to time. So let us take a moment to commemorate. Goodbye, you were good but not good enough. So please don't ask why, simply say goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Okay, great. Is that everything? Oh, yeah, your standard disclaimer that these are my thoughts, my opinions. An A tier for me might be a D tier for you and vice versa, so please be kind when you come for me in the comments. The month of December covers musicals from 2015 all the way up until 2020 when Broadway shut down because of world circumstances. That's it. Yeah. So, all that being said, let's get ranking. On Your Feet. Emilio and Gloria Estefan find success in the music industry. Oh, oh, it's a jukebox by a musical. Oh. I still have a strong disdain for jukebox musicals. However, this one was smart and had their album be a live recording. Genius. We get the life story and the context of the songs. And also, I really do enjoy Gloria Estefan music. So, this is an A. Allegiance. A Japanese American family is relocated to an internment camp during World War II. I wanted to like this one. I really did. Especially since it's a musical that features an Asian American story. But it was boring. I didn't care for listening to it. The music is fine. You can tell there was effort put into it, but none of it comes across. Even the song they clearly wanted to be the big feature number falls flat. I give it a C. School of Rock. A man leads a group of school children to become a rock band. Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber. I can't stand the man, but dang, does he make some good rock scores. This is an A. Disaster. A discotheque experiences a slew of natural disasters. It's all songs from the 70s, and I like 70s songs, but I still have a strong disdain for jukebox musicals. This still seemed like a pretty fun show, though, since it's a spoof of disaster movies from the 70s. I gave it a B. Bright Star. A literary editor confronts her past. I liked listening to it, and the first number is clearly a standout, but it's not for me. I give it a B. American Psycho. An investment banker is also a serial killer. You know the book and subsequent movie of the same name? It's that. I know a lot of people in the Discord server like this one, but I didn't. I know the guy who wrote the music is the same one who did Spring Awakening. I don't know, it's not my thing. I give it a B. Waitress. A woman working at a diner finds out she is pregnant and ends up in an affair with her doctor. I love this show so much. Sarah Bareilles did such an amazing job with the music. It's a charming show and it's incredibly heartwarming. I give it an A. Tuck Everlasting. A girl discovers a family who is immortal because of a magical spring. I initially tuned out at first, but strenuous circumstances forced me to restart my listening session, and something happened. I ended up liking the show a lot. And also, I loved the book as a kid. So, this is an A. Dames at Sea. A group of actors put on their show on a boat after they learned that their theater is going to be demolished. This show had a lot of productions in the 60s, but didn't have an actual Broadway production until 2015, so that's why it's here. It sounds characteristically different from modern musicals. It was probably fine. I don't remember it. This is a C. Shuffle Along, or The Making of a Musical Sensation of 1921 and All That Followed. It's a musical about how they put on the original 1921 musical review, Shuffle Along. Should we have listened to it back in January because of a 1952 revival? Yes. Is this technically an L because Scott Rudin is a jerk and didn't make a cast recording of the show? Yes. Anyways, there's a 30-minute sample on YouTube that I listened to, and gosh dang, why isn't there a recording? It's an A. I don't care if it's an L. We're making it an A. We're making it an A. Screw you, Scott Rudin. Holiday Inn. A man and a woman meet and turn a farmhouse into an inn that gives holiday-themed performances. I surprisingly enjoyed this one. I really like Bryce Pickham's voice, who was in Gentleman's Guide in 2014, which I adored him in. That's the only thing I wrote. So this is an A. Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. A young woman gets lured into a really bad romantic affair while a man has an existential crisis. It's a small part of a Russian novel, which is slightly easier to explain. My god, I love this show so much. I totally get how it's not for everyone, and it's definitely a very odd show, but I enjoy the music so much, and it's such a unique concept. I give it an A. A Bronx Tale. A man struggles to decide between his father and the mobster life. You know the one-man show and subsequent movie of the same name? It's that. I enjoyed listening to it. And I got very sad when I realized Nick Cordero is also in this one. But anyway, it's not for me. I give it a B. Dear Evan Hansen. A teenage boy weaves a net of lies after a deceased classmate's parents believe the two were friends. Oh dear. I think Pasek and Paul music, in general, suffers the same problem in that it's really good music until you place it in the context of the story, and then it starts to get questionable. When I first listened to the show back in 2017, I loved a lot about it. For Forever and You Will Be Found were standouts to me. Today, I'm not such a big fan of it. And I know there's a lot of debate out there about whether Evan is a manipulative monster or literally just a teen who got caught up in a rough situation. Overall, I think it's a good show. Definitely did not deserve a Tony Award sweep, especially when you put it next to shows like Anastasia, Great Comet, and frickin' Come From Away. But, I gave it an A. But mind you, it is a hesitant A. Come From Away. A small town in Canada becomes the landing spot for dozens of planes in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. Oh my god. It's so good. It's so good. Very helpful to remember that humanity can still come together in times of grief. How did this not get Best Musical? Look. Great Comet is one of my favorite musicals of all time, and I totally get how it wasn't likely to win Best Musical, but Come From Away, I give it an A. Amelie. A young woman quietly brings joy to people around her, and also love happens, I think. I like the song Times Are Hard for Dreamers, but I don't think the show is for me. I give it a B. War Paint. Two entrepreneurial women in the beauty industry have a lifelong rivalry against each other. It was fine. I don't remember it well. Sorry, Patty Lupone. This is a C. Groundhog Day. A weatherman relives the same day over and over again. You know the movie of the same name? It's that. But you know what? It's a surprisingly good time, and it's a well-made adaptation. So, I gave it an A. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. A boy wins an opportunity to visit a chocolate factory. You know the book and subsequent movies, plural, of the same name? It's that. I really hoped I would like this one, but a lot of the music just doesn't work out. It all has the same vibes as Oompa Loompa, which works for exactly 5 minutes, and then you get kind of sick of the simplistic rhymes and melodies. I give it a C. Cirque du Soleil Paramore. A young poet chooses between love and art, but let's be honest, you just came to see the acrobats spinning around in the air. I don't care for the music, and considering how the main selling point of the show is the acrobats and its visuals, it's actually extremely disappointing to listen to. I give it a D. Anastasia. A woman is trained to pretend to be missing Princess Anastasia, not realizing that she actually is. I think the songs originally from the movie are good, and the songs they added in work really well too. It's a good time. Christy Altamare is amazing. I give it an A. Bandstand. A group of World War II veterans form a band to enter an international competition. This show got mixed reviews during its run, but had high marks and a Tony Award for its choreography, and so I'm here just like, cool. The music's fine, but I don't want to listen to it again. I gave it a B. Prince of Broadway. It's a musical review of shows that Hal Prince has worked on, either as a director or producer. It's a review of shows I already like. Why would I listen to this when I could just listen to the shows themselves? This is a B. The Band's Visit. A band takes the wrong bus and ends up connecting with the townspeople. You know the movie of the same name? It's that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love the moment in Answer Me when the entire ensemble finally comes together to sing in one beautiful moment in the show that's about finding humanity in the small moments of life. Oh my god. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I give it an A. Summer. It's the Jukebox Bio musical of Donna Summer. I had to check that I listened to this one. I did. I don't remember it. This is a D. SpongeBob SquarePants. A charismatic sea sponge must save his town from a volcanic explosion. I didn't know what to expect going into this one, but it's actually quite a fun time. The original songs are very catchy, and I think it's very smart to put Best Day Ever at the end instead of the beginning like the source material did. I gave it an A. I know, I surprised myself. Escape to Margaritaville. A bartender and a tourist fall in love. I remember nothing about it. I don't think I enjoyed it, though. This is a D. Frozen. Two sisters, one with magical ice powers, must save their kingdom. You know the hit 2013 movie of the same name? It's that. My personal disdain for the oversaturation of Frozen aside, it's actually very good and enjoyable. The original songs were great for musical theater, and the new songs are also very good and add to the story really well. So I gave it an A, I guess. Pretty Woman. A businessman hires an escort and the two end up falling in love. You know the hit 1990 movie of the same name? It's that. I literally remember nothing. This is a D. Mean Girls. The new girl in school gets taken in by the popular clique. You know the hit 2004 movie of the same name? It's that. Mean Girls is catchy. It's fun to listen to, even if some of the lyrics are clunky. I've seen a ahem slime tutorial, and I don't know if it works as well, simply because they're trying to put in all the cult classic moments without earning those moments, you know? And then there's lyrics like, imagine a party with dancing and cake and singing and dancing and cake. Like, it reads like they're trying to emulate teenagers and failing. I don't know. I gave it a B. I'll give it a B+. Why not? That was a last minute decision. I hope I remember that. Head Over Heels. A royal family must save their kingdom. It's the Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia, if you're familiar. Oh, and also the music is by the Go-Go's. Look, I'm sure if I saw the actual production, I would love it. It seems like something I would be super into. I'm just not convinced by the music at this point. So for now, it is a B. Getting the band back together. A group of friends get the band back together. I started kind of liking it by the second half as it became a bit less serious and had more fun, but I probably won't listen to it again. I give it a B. The Prom. A student is banned from the prom after she asks out a girl. Mayhem ensues. It's very cute, very charming, very gay. I like it. This is an A. The Cher Show. It's a jukebox bio musical of Cher. I kind of like listening to this one. Or maybe I just like Cher. I'm not listening to this again though, so I give it a B. Be More Chill. A high schooler gets a computer implanted in his brain to be less socially awkward. I've listened to the off-Broadway version for years. This show was a huge anthem for me in high school, so listening to the Broadway version was definitely weird. For what it's worth, it isn't terrible like some fans were hyping it up to be. I liked the new orchestrations and most of the added music, except for Loser Geek Whatever. Still hate that one. I'm not a big fan at how the characterization went more towards caricature rather than the off-Broadway's more realistic takes, but this is me going on a ramble. It's still good. I give it an A. A Too Proud. It's a jukebox bio musical of The Temptations. Okay, so this show did the smart thing and included their dialogue with the music, so I got a more complete experience with this show. So, even though it's a jukebox musical, I am giving it an A. You see? It is possible to sway me if you do it right. Hadestown. A man travels to the underworld to rescue his fiancée. It's Orpheus and Eurydice. Art. Oh my god. This show was Anais Mitchell's baby, and it is apparent. The music is great. The story framing the parallels between the young love of Orpheus and Eurydice and the jaded love of Hades and Persephone is so touching, and I cry every time. And this show was what I based my S tier ranking off of. I asked myself, is this musical on the same level as Hadestown? That Hadestown is the gold standard of modern musicals. This is an S tier, obviously. I don't know what else it would be. Tootsie. A male actor disguises himself as a woman to find more success in his career. You know the 1982 movie of the same name? It's that. Issues about the show's premise aside, some of the music is genuinely good. I liked listening to it, save for some odd lyrics, such as, like a mother hippo protecting her young. Unstoppable. I don't think I'm going to listen to it again, but it's worth giving it a go, if not for Santino Fontana. I'm sorry you had to get your Tony Award like this, Santino. You deserve better. Oh my god, Santino Fontana. Oh my god. Anyways, I give it a B-. Beetlejuice. A girl and a demon team up to terrorize the house. You know the movie of the same name? It's that. but also not, because there are some major changes made to the plot. Anyways, I love this show. I didn't expect to, of course, but the music is so quirky and offbeat and charming, and there are some genuinely heartfelt moments throughout the show that give a very touching perspective on death and grief and finding family. I give it an A. Moulin Rouge. A poet and a cabaret performer fall in love. Is this Cabaret? No, I'm kidding. It's the 2001 movie of the same name. What was happening with the music of this show? It's like constant medleys of popular songs. They're like song battling. I'm sure the spectacle of the show is a sight to behold, and I'm sure the movie it's based on is a fun time. I did not like listening to it. I did not. This is a D. Oh man. I know it like swept the Tony Awards in the sham of a Tony Award ceremony that was this year's. God, it makes me so. We're gonna talk about this later. We'll talk about why. I'll ramble about this in like another video or something. Okay. The Lightning Thief. A boy finds out he's the son of a Greek god and tries to clear his name after being accused of stealing Zeus's bolt. I genuinely enjoy listening to The Lightning Thief. It's not a genius masterpiece, but it doesn't have to be. It's fun, it's charming, it's catchy, and I think it deserved more than to be completely snubbed by the Tony Awards in a year that only had 4 eligible shows in the first place because of the current world predicament we're in. Talk to me about the 2020 Tony nominations. I will go off. Anyways, this show's an A. We'll talk about this later, I promise. Tina. It's a jukebox biomusical of Tina Turner. Yes, I'm aware we have the same name. This is not an original joke. Look, Adrienne Warner is clearly very talented. I just can't get over my disdain for jukebox musicals, so this is a B. Jagged Little Pill. A suburban family maintains status quo while having underlying issues. Oh, and also the music is Alanis Morissette. Casting controversy aside, well, we can unpack that another time. It's a jukebox musical. I couldn't be won over. This is a B. Girl from the North Country. A group of people live under one roof during the Great Depression. Oh, and also the music is Bob Dylan. If I had a nickel for every time there was a jukebox musical of Bob Dylan music, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? I don't know. I didn't have a terrible time listening to it, and I appreciated the orchestrations. I just think I would have to see this show in order to really understand and, quite frankly, even know what's going on. I give it a B. Sing Street. In the middle of an economic depression, a group of teens turn to music to impress a girl. It's only 35 minutes, and it's not a long listen, and since they technically never opened on Broadway because of world circumstances, I would like to check it out more. So, I gave it an A, which surprises me, but I will leave it at that. Diana. It's a biomusical of Princess Diana. I watched the pro shot of this on Netflix when it first came out in October. I don't know how to feel about this. Thoughts aside about the appropriateness of musicalizing the life story of this young woman who tragically had her life cut short as a result of the public eye, especially when it still feels pretty recent, the music is bad. The lyrics are incredibly predictable, with every 3 or 4 lines having the most basic of rhymes. The one that stands out to me is, Harry, my ginger-haired son, you'll always be second to none. And yet, something happened between the time I watched the pro shot and listened to the album again the other day. I started to enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, it's still bad, but you're going to have a fun time. So, I gave it a D originally, then I bumped it up to C. I feel like that we're good there. I think we can leave it at that. Yeah. And finally, oh my god, finally, after 681 musicals, this is number 682, the last one that we're going to rank because their opening night was the day that Broadway shut down. 6. The 6 ex-wives of Henry VIII compete to see who had the worst life. Not to brag, but I saw the Chicago tryouts before they went to Broadway. Is it a masterpiece of a show? No. But it's fun, filled with extremely talented women, and an overall good listen. And I think that's what we're ultimately looking for in the end. So, I give it an A. And that, after 10 videos in 12 months, is every single Broadway musical between the years of 1950 and 2020 ranked. Oh my god. I don't want to get emotional, but to think about where I was 1 year ago when I saw Stacy's TikTok and thought this would be a good idea. And now it's like so much has changed in like my personal life. And wow. Okay, anyways, we already did a tribute to our L tier musicals, Lost to Time. So, as part of our grand finale, here is the general ranking of every musical. On the M tier, because I legitimately do not know where to put it, Book of Mormon. In the F tier is An Evening with Beatrice Lillie, Kismet, Eolanth, The Most Happy Fella, Mask and Gown, Christine, Wildcat, Hotspot, Bajor, Lovely Ladies, Kind Gentlemen, Ari, Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death, Home Sweet Homer, Whoopee, Bring Back Birdie, The First, Chu Chem, Aspects of Love, A Change in the Air, Cyrano, the Musical, Urban Cowboy, Lennon, and The Pirate Queen. On the D tier is Let's Make an Opera, Paint Your Wagon, Seventh Heaven, Pipe a Dream, Happy Hunting, New Girl in Town, Jamaica, Whoop Up, Saratoga, Green Willow, Tenderloin, Donnybrook, A Family Affair, Tovarich, Jenny, Foxy, What Makes Sammy Run, Fade Out, Fade In, I Had a Ball, Baker Street, The Yearling, It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman, A Time for Singing, Hello Solly, I Do, A Joyful Noise, Darling of the Day, Here's Why I Belong, The Education of Hyman Kaplan, I'm Solomon, George M., The Fig Leaves Are Falling, Gantry, Cry for Us All, The Me Nobody Knows, Hard Job Being God, Dude, Tricks, Cyrano, Smith, Shenandoah, Man on the Moon, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Timbuktu, A Broadway Musical, Sarava, Got to Go Disco, Christmas is Coming Uptown, Happy New Year, Charlie and Algernon, Copperfield, A Doll's Life, Showboat, Marilyn, An American Fable, Peg, A Musical Autobiography, The News, Big Deal, Me and My Girl, Into the Light, The Mikado, Serafina, Prince of Central Park, Shogun, The Musical, Red Shoes, The Best Little Whorehouse Goes Public, James Joyce's The Dead, by Jeeves, Sweet Smell of Success, The Look of Love, The Boys from Syracuse, Dracula, Ring of Fire, Passing Strange, Memphis, Fella, Everyday Rapture, Rocky, Amazing Grace, Cirque du Soleil's Paramore, Summer, Escape to Margaritaville, Pretty Woman, Moulin Rouge, Welcome to the Club, and Frank Merriwell. I don't know what happened with the ordering of that one. On the C tier, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Flahooly, Make-A-Wish, Music in the Air, Pal Joey, Three Wishes for Jamie, Hazel Flag, Can Can, Two's Company, The Girl in Pink Tights, By the Beautiful Sea, Peter Pan, House of Flowers, Plain and Fancy, Hayride, Silk Stockings, Finian's Rainbow, Simply Heavenly, Oh Captain, Annie Get Your Gun, Carousel, Goldilocks, Maria Golovin, First Impressions, The Nervous Set, Take Me Along, Little Mary Sunshine, Irma La Douce, The Unsingable Molly Brown, Showgirl, The Happiest Girl in the World, Sail Away, Milk and Honey, Keen, The Billy Barnes People, All American, Mr. President, Little Me, Here's Love, The Girl Who Came to Supper, High Spirits, Cafe Crown, Ben Franklin in Paris, Folie Bergère, On a Clear Day You Can See Forever, Anya, La Grosse Valise, Pousse Café, The Apple Tree, Walking Happy, Hallelujah Baby, Ilya Darling, Henry Sweet Henry, The Happy Time, Golden Rainbow, Her First Roman, Zorba, Red, White and Maddox, Canterbury Tales, Come Summer, Jimmy, Coco, Georgie, Look to the Lilies, Park, Paul Sills Story Theater, 2 by 2 No No Nanette, Mother Earth, Irene, Where's Charlie, Good Time Charlie, Dr. Jazz, Very Good Eddie, Truckload, A Musical Jubilee, Rockabye Hamlet, Rex, Music Is, Going Up, Happy End, Angel, King of Hearts, Platinum, They're Playing Our Song, Carmelina, The Mad Woman of Central Park, But Never Jam Today, Sugar Babies, One Night Stand, Perfectly Frank, Marlowe, The Little Prince and the Aviator, Do Black Patent Leather Shoes Really Reflect Up, Blues in the Night, Cleavage, Play Me a Country Song, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, Doonesbury, The Human Comedy, Harrigan and Hart, Jerome Kern Goes to Hollywood, Song and Dance, Honky Tonk Nights, Rags, Oh Coward, Stepping Out, The Gospel of Colonus, Senator Joe, Nick and Nora, Anna Karenina, The Goodbye Girl, and Broadway Grand, Swinging on a Star, The Johnny Burke Musical, State Fair, Juan Darien, A Carnival Mass, Steel Pier, The Triumph of Love, The Civil War, Contact, Marie Christine, Swing, A Class Act, Thou Shalt Not, Lestat, Martin Short, Fame Becomes Me, Love Music, Glory Day, White Christmas, Leap of Faith, Ghost, Chaplin, Motown the Musical, The Bridges of Madison County, The Last Ship, Allegiance, Dames at Sea, War Paint, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Diana, Via Galactica, I Remember Mama, Tin Types, Romance, Brooklyn, Tarzan, A Day in Hollywood, A Night in Ukraine, Onward Victoria, My One and Only, Wild and Wonderful, Wind in the Willows, Mayor, Rosa, A Catered Affair, Sugar, Don't Bother Me, I Can't Cope, The Magic Show, The 1940s Radio Hour, Marlene, Cat and the Kings, Taboo, The Wedding Singer, and Wonderland. What did I get myself into? On the B tier is Call Me Madam, Out of This World, Guys and Dolls, The King and I, 17, Top Banana, 4 Saints and 3 Acts, Wish You Were Here, Me and Juliet, The Golden Apple, The Boyfriend, On Your Toes, Fanny, The Saint of Bleecker Street, Ankles Away, Damn Yankees, Little Abner, Bells Are Ringing, Shinbo and Alley, Say Darling, Juno, Redhead, Flower Drum Song, Destry Rise Again, Fiorello, Beg, Borrow, or Steal at the Drop of a Hat, Once Upon a Mattress, Bye Bye Birdie, Do Re Mi, 13 Daughters, Camelot, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Quamina, The Gay Life, No Strings, I Can Get It For You Wholesale, Bravo Giovanni, Stop the World, I Want to Get Off, Sophie Rocatino, Anyone Can Whistle, Something More, Do I Hear a Waltz, Flora the Red Menace, Pickwick, Skyscraper, Sweet Charity, Let's Sing Yiddish, Sherry, How Now, Dow Jones, The Megalove, Itzik Manger, Maggie Flynn, Dear World, 7076, La Strada, Minnie's Boys, The Rothschilds, Soon, Oh, Calcutta, Earl of Rustin, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, The Grass Harps, Inner City, Anna Green Gables, Don't Play Us Cheap, Ambassador, Shelter, A Little Night Music, Seesaw, Raisin, Words and Music starring Sammy Kahn, Lorelei, Good News, The Rocky Horror Show, Scott Joplin, Treemanisha, Me and Bessie, Godspell, Your Arms Too Short to Box with God, EP To Me, Side by Sondheim, The Axe, Runaways, Working, Beatlemania, The Utter Glory of Morrissey Hall, Barnum, Musical Chairs, 42nd Street, Duke Ellington, Sophisticated Ladies, The Rudy Shapiro Songbook, Oh Brother, Merry We Roll Along, Pump Boys and Danettes, Little Johnny Jones, Merlin, The Rink, Leader of the Pack, Grind, Singing in the Rain, Raggedy Ann, Late Night Comic, Mail, Anything Goes, Legs, Diamond, Jerome Robbins, Broadway, Starlight, Black and Blue, Meet Me St. Louis, Buddy, The Buddy Holly Story, Miss Saigon, The Secret Garden, The Will Rogers Follies, OK, Crazy for You, The High Roller Social and Pleasure Club, Metro, Jelly's Last Jam, My Favorite Year, The Who's, Tommy, Oba Oba 93, Blood Brothers, Beauty and the Beast, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Big, Victor Victoria, Bringing the Noise, Bringing the Funk, A Christmas Carol, Titanic, The Life, Play On, Dream, The Johnny Mercer Musical, Side Show, The Gershwin's Fascinating Rhythm, It Ain't Nothing But the Blues, Saturday Night Fever, Putting Together, The Wild Party, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Jane Eyre, Thoroughly Modern Millie, Moving Out, The Dance of the Vampires, La Boheme, Amour, The Boy from Oz, The Frog, Shitty Shitty Bang Bang, Bombay Dreams, Jersey Boys, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, The Woman in White, Great Gardens, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Xanadu, A Tale of Two Cities, The Rock of Ages, The Story of My Life, $1 Million Quartet, The Scottsboro Boys, Priscilla Queen of the Desert, Catch Me If You Can, Sister Act, Baby It's You, Liz Estrada Jones, Nice Work If You Can Get It, The People in the Picture, Scandalous, Kinky Boots, First Day, Beautiful, If Den, Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, Violet, A Night with Janis Joplin, Honeymoon in Vegas, Finding Neverland, Disaster, Bright Star, American Psycho, Bronx Tale, Amelie, Bandstand, Prince of Broadway, Mean Girls, Head Over Heels, Getting the Band Back Together, The Cher Show, Tina, Jagged Little Pill, Girl from the North Country, Different Times, Molly, Over Here, Pacific Overtures, Let My People Come, Dancing, The Tap Dance Kids, The Three Musketeers, Quilter, Stardust, Shrek, Tootsie, Good Vibrations, Teddy and Alice, Evita, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, Drat the Cat, Mame, Grease, Rachel Lily Rosenblum, and Don't You Ever Forget It, On the 20th Century, Amen Corner, Baby, A Grand Night for Singing, Band in Berlin, The Lion in the Piazza, All Shook Up, Crybaby, Title of the Show, American Idiot, Bloody Bloody, Andrew Jackson, Sondheim on Sondheim, Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, Bonnie and Clyde, Bring It On, The Musical, Bullets Over Broadway, and Let It Ride. On the A tier, we've got Pirates of Penzance, Brigadoon, Two on the Isle of DIC, Wonderful Town, Porgy and Bess, The Pajama Game, My Fair Lady, Mr. Wonderful, Candide, New Faces of 1956, Cranks, West Side Story, The Music Man, The Body Beautiful, A Party with Betty Comden, Adolph Green, Gypsy, Subways Are for Sleeping, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, Oliver, She Loves Me, 110 in the Shade, Golden Boy, Half a Sixpence, The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd, Cabaret, Hair, Celebration, Pearly, Applause, Follies, 70 Girls, 70, Healing, Gigi, Mac and Mabel, The Wiz, Lieutenant, A Chorus Line, Bubbling Brown Sugar, Three Penny Opera, Something's Afoot, The Robber Bridegroom, I Love My Wife, Annie, Ain't Misbehaving, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Ballroom, The Grand Tour, Yubi, Woman of the Year, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, 9, Dance a Little Closer, La Caja Fall, Sunday in a Park with George, Big River, Jerry's Girls, Tango Argentino, The Mystery of Edwin Drew, Smile, Starlight Express, Chess, Carrie, City of Angels, Grand Hotel, Wantonness Island, Five Guys Named Mo, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, Passion, Sunset Boulevard, Rent, The Scarlet Pimpernel, High Society, Ragtime, The Cape Man, Footloose, Parade, On the Town, Kiss Me, Kate, Aida, The Full Monty, Seussical, Mamma Mia, Hairspray, A Year with Frog and Toad, Little Shop of Horrors, Avenue Q, Wicked, Caroline or Change, Assassins, The 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, Little Women, The Drowsy Chaperone, The Color Purple, Mary Poppins, Curtains, Young Frankenstein, Little Mermaid, South Pacific, 13, Billy Elliot, Next to Normal, 9 to 5, Addams Family, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, Elf, Once, Newsies, Matilda the Musical, Cinderella, Big Fish, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Aladdin, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, An American in Paris, It Should Have Been You, Dr. Zhivago, Fun Home, Something Rotten, The Visit, Hamilton, On Your Feet, School of Rock, Waitress, Tuck After Lasting, Shuffle Along, or The Making of the Musical Sensation of 1921 and all that followed, Holiday Inn, Natasha Piano, Great Comet, 1812, Jervin Hansen, Come From Away, Groundhog Day, Anastasia, The Band's Visit, SpongeBob SquarePants, Frozen, The Prom, Be More Chill, Ain't Too Proud, Beetlejuice, The Lightning Thief, Sing Street, 6, Oklahoma, Hello Dolly, Funny Girl, The Zoolander Zeta, Leonard Stillman's New Phases in 1968, Promises, Promises, Jesus Christ Superstar, To Live Another Summer, To Pass Another Winter, So Long, 174th Street, Dreamgirls, Is Their Life After High School, Smokey Joe's Cafe, Jekyll and Hyde, Fosse, Spamalot, High Fidelity, A Christmas Story, Hands on a Hard Body, Carnival, and The Phantom of the Opera. And finally, the cream of the crop out of 682 musicals. These are the S tiers. New Faces of 1952, The Sound of Music, Fiddler on a Roof, Man of La Mancha, Company, Pippin, Chicago, Sweeney Todd, Cats, Les Miserables, Into the Woods, Falsettos, The Lion King, The Producers, Urinetown, Spring Awakening, Legally Blonde, In the Heights, and Hadestown. Woo! Thank you for following along with me on this wild, crazy adventure of a time. I don't know what I'm going to make next. That maybe something not Broadway related, maybe. But we'll see. Thank you for doing all the things. I will see you later. Okay, bye!